Oh, I can't do it this morning, so
I didn't know.
I think my plan was to do it at the council meeting.
I shouldn't say it tomorrow, it's not August. I'll say it. But you finish, the people's resign. I can get to that large.
Oh. It's true. All right, you ready?
Wow.
It is starting.
Yes.
We've got a crowd this morning.
Don't worry, I'll take up all your time.
Imagine that.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to call the Board of Public Safety meeting to order. Begin with the minutes from the last meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the, is it July 13th? Was that the last meeting? July 13th, that the Board of Works has written.
I'll second. There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meeting held on July 13th. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Any new business this morning?
No.
Moving on to items under new business, 2 street closure requests. The first, about the first Friday, the car show from the Tipton County Chamber of Commerce. Riley.
Riley Harden, Director of the Tipton County Chamber of Commerce, requesting that Jefferson Street be closed between Main and Independence on August 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. to support the downtown First Fridays. This is in partnership with the closure that Heath and Jack Wagons has already requested and gotten approved for Court Street and Madison. This just extends it so that we can try and get some more of the downtown retailers involved and shift some things north to Jefferson Street. Got approval from the department heads with some stipulations. That being, there's an emergency or fire lane on Jefferson Street so that emergency vehicles can get through, that the barricades can be easily moved, all stuff that we can easily take care of. So we would keep the south lane of Jefferson Street open. People can still walk across it and things like that. I think food trucks will be on Jefferson, not on the southern. It's just a matter of nothing parked there so that emergency vehicles can get through if needed.
Can I ask why, knowing the traffic on Jefferson, why you picked Jefferson? There are other streets around the courthouse that could have been utilized.
Yeah, with Hortons being closed, we thought, and we've actually talked with Jack Wagons, that maybe Main Street might be the better path, or Main Street in the future. So we're going to give Jefferson, just because there are a few of the retailers that are open on Jefferson versus there's only one besides the food, besides the restaurants on Main Street.
So you're convinced that retailers benefit more from the street being closed?
Yes, because we're allowed to put things and do some programmatic stuff on Jefferson. We're also potentially putting some like makers, like vendors, like a kind of the farmers market on Jefferson Street as well. So we're bringing in outside people who can be involved, and the people that make stuff at home and sell it online. Or
I've seen all the stipulations that you've asked for, which is fine. I'm just curious on why we picked. There are other streets that could have been used that have much less traffic than Jefferson Street. I'm just asking.
I would say that in talking with Heath too, with the car show, they can continue to be focused on trying to provide some positive benefit to the retailers. I don't know that they would say that today they feel like they've done that, but it's forever a goal. So when I talked with him at the community-wide cleanup about this, that was his focus, is trying Jefferson. He's also maybe not convinced Jefferson will provide that, but trying it once.
Yeah, that's why this isn't a blanket request for all First Fridays. We are going to give it a try, and if we find out it doesn't work for public safety, it doesn't work for the retailers, or it doesn't work for Jack Wagons, it's something that we're not just. Yeah, we'll look at other options of this didn't work out, but
if you don't meet all the stipulations, you'll be arrested.
Yeah, some of the other stipulations for the record, we'll have advanced warning signs at Sweetland on the west side and then 19, coordinated with street department to make sure that those get out. And the barricades will be, just street department barricades at Independence and Main, which can be easily moved if needed. So was that, I think, all of yours?
Yeah, when I look at these street closures as from public safety, especially, I'm looking at it from the fire department standpoint. I refer back to the IC code.
Yeah.
The only thing that's required on that is I just need a fire lane.
Yeah.
So if we have to access those buildings in that area, we can do so without moving equipment.
Yeah.
Cars. I mean, I understand, like, it's an inconvenience for some for a short amount of time. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm totally open. We're gonna regroup after this one with everybody involved and see if it was more beneficial. Did we get more foot traffic because the food trucks are on Jefferson versus everything was on Madison previously? So basically everybody was on the south side of the square for the food trucks, for the car show, and then the whole northwest side of the square was just a ghost town. So trying to bring at least some foot traffic back up to the retailers. So
I'll move that we approve the street closure for, gosh, it's the Chamber and Jack Wagon and Jefferson Street.
Okay, then I'll second. There's a motion and a second to approve the street closure for August 7th between 5 and 8 p.m. for Jefferson Street. With the conditions as detailed in the request from all represented parties, but mostly the fire department. Motion and second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thanks, Brad. Next item, last item under new business, street closure and crosswalk for the Tiffin Public Library. Jason Fields.
My name is Jason Fields. I'm the director at the public library. We commissioned an artist to paint the crosswalk leading from the county lot to the library entrance. We set up a memo of understanding with the city last year, and we're finally acting on it. So the city has provided the paint for the MOU. We've gotten the artist, and I did submit the artwork with the request for today. I don't know if you have it. So that's why I'm here today. I got the approval for the temporary street closure from the street department heads, and I'm just here to finalize.
Is this in conjunction with the students that we're working on?
No, this actually predates the students, but I do
That's
think
what I
that
thought.
this helped encourage the student projects.
So the student project, I'm getting off topic a little bit here. Student project then looking at other crosswalks?
Correct.
Okay.
I think the plan is to see
How,
how well this
This
goes,
one works.
and from a timing perspective, those are a lot of their questions, and so I think they'll be taking some notes on this.
Yeah, and we're trying to just barricade the part with the crosswalk in it, so leaving the entrance next to the Mad Tap open,
mhm.
and of course Court Street.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just that small
Sure.
section
All
over
right.
a few days.
I'll make the motion that we approve the closure
I'll
for the
second.
library.
Motion and second to approve the closure on Madison Street between Court and not nearly Independence, to the entrance to the Mad Tap there on Madison on the dates of August 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. And these will be largely throughout the entire day for the artist. Motion and second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving to Department of Business, under my report, just an update on baseball fields as we continue to make progress there. Nearly all of the dugouts are now starting to come out of the ground with the center block construction, and move on to the restroom facility and concession facility, and work on actually building up the fields should happen here momentarily as well. So we're about I hate to even get a timeline. We will be wrapping up construction very soon. But we'll withhold the actual date that we're planning on. As lesson, as distributed by good lesson. But next on the Department of Business, Fire Department.
Okay, he's done.
Good morning.
Thank you for your update this morning.
I think you guys all got my report last week. Included with that, I did a year-to-date on the total runs for the year. So you got the monthly run numbers and the year-to-date where we sit currently. Just my summary of the month. I met with the Training Facility Council, it's countywide, each department, fire department, volunteer department, police, sheriff, anybody that has an interest in this countywide facility. I don't know how much you guys know about it. County gave up some ground out there next to the gun range to put a fire training facility in, along with a facility that would be utilized by the law enforcement officers as well. So we're trying to get that up off the ground. Stan Jones has done amazing work with it already. He's moving forward with it. Currently in the process of getting the 501c3 nonprofit, so start getting funding, getting grants. So hopefully I'll have a lot more information coming back to you guys with that in the future. I attended the safety meeting with Tipton School Corporation and Trust Central. It was held out here at Tipton last week. It was a mandated meeting that they all have to do with their safety or safety committee, just staying informed, making those contacts with them. Wrapping up the part-time process for our paramedics. I went ahead and offered 2 employment spots to 2 of the medics already that have gone through. I'm hoping to get 1 more. I got 1 more interview to do, then we make that decision on that last person. I'd like to have at least 1 per kind of shift is what I'm looking at, just so we have more options. I had a previous full-time employee reach out, Seth Hogeson. He transferred to Carmel. He'd like to come back to us and work part-time. I've offered it to him a spot. He just has to come in, fill out the app. He would pretty much just be a shoe-in. He already knows how we operate, knows the guys. So I actually talked to him last night. Hopefully get everything squared away this week, get him on the part-time roster for us. I met with all the officers at the Tipton Fire Department. Kind of just went over my expectations moving forward and kind of what we're going to do. We are moving our scheduling to all online. We have the program, we have the software. That's something that I've been eager to implement. So we've been working on getting familiar with that, making sure all the information's in there correctly to make my job a whole lot smoother.
Is that software you had to find and onboard?
No, we've had it for the past few years, I believe. I'd say at least 2+. So, wrapping up the training on the new reporting system that reports the nearest. My goal, and still a goal, August 1st, we're going to implement it, move to that system. Again, I know we had the delays for the grant. So when we switch over to this new system and start inputting our reports in, it'll be by the end of the year that we'll have to get caught up from January to now, because we have to go back in and enter all those reports from the start. So within that same system, I've kind of moved some modules around. We currently have 1 for inspections, 4 properties, like a hydrant module that lays out our hydrants. We currently don't utilize those modules. We're paying for them. We just don't use them. We have other softwares that kind of does our hydrants. The inspection side, it does some of the stuff that we want, but not all of the stuff. So I'm going to drop those modules from our reporting, so we're not paying for them. And in return, I'm getting asset management. And what that's going to allow us to do is basically we're going to have an in-house asset management where we can go in, record all of our equipment, keep track of who we bought it from, when we bought it from, the price point, how old the equipment is. But within that, that allows us to do our truck checks, and it'll all be digital. No more paper pen. It'll all be, these guys want it. We got iPads, click a button, select it, yes, no.
Amen.
Yes. So I thought that was the best bang for the buck on that. It's almost a wash on price, adding and deleting the modules. Engine 10 went in for its yearly service last week. Everything checked out good on that. Had City Garage complete that. Worked with Colin on the firehouse subs. I pretty much just supplied him with the basic information. He took care of the rest, which was great. There was a cap of $40,000 on that, so we went for 10 sets of gear. Our goal is to get what guys don't have backup sets into a backup set. So when we do have fires, and we take gear out of service for washing, contamination, we're good to go. That grant was open for like an hour and 30 minutes before it hit the max and it closed. So the Larry Foundation is coming up on due at the middle of the month. Working again with Colin on that one. Been talking about gas detectors, but also talking about maybe throwing in the sets of gear that we can't get with the other grant. So then we can outfit everybody. Dropped off the chief's truck, the white one from Enterprise, down to the outfitter to get the lights and equipment installed. He said probably about the first couple weeks of August. I know when I dropped it off, there was probably 50 cars sitting on that lot to get lights. So he's busy. Something that I just added here, been working with Ty on BNP Capital on their FDC. It's been a big project for him. Plans have changed over the course of the last 2 years, so I'm sure there's a little bit of conflict coming up. One of the big conflicts that came up, which should have been discovered almost day one, was the FDC, the fire department connection when we hooked to the sprinkler system. He was wanting it to come out to the north end of the building. No matter which hydrant we hit, we had about a 500-foot lay, which we would have blocked major roads for other apparatus coming in. So it was almost going to be costly to have that moved. Got a hold of the water department, worked out an agreement with them. They agreed just for the downtown building's sake, they're going to install a hydrant there in the alley behind that building. So it can be utilized for that building plus any other downtown buildings, which is a huge asset for us. We were pretty busy this weekend. Saturday night, had a barn fire out in Madison Township area. Then early Sunday morning, had another barn fire in Madison Township area out there, Division 213. Guys did great on it. They're probably actually excited to see some red stuff. Haven't seen it in a while. So, fully staffed. Haven't lost anybody. Again, we added the part-timers. Training we attended this month was forcible entry. Got the forcible entry door from John Hines. It's really nice to have that piece of equipment when we do our training, to have actual live props. So we get them. I'd like to recognize Jordan Davis. He's going to be moving from second class firefighter to first class firefighter on July 30th. So he will begin that. Other notables is Jordan Crane will started his 7th year, and then Tyler Davis started his 4th year with the fire department. We started completing or doing practice runs of our WPE. I know we're still, where's Matt? I know we're still waiting on that. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know if there's really anything legally we need.
I'm not even sure I know what you're talking about.
I think we just need to get an ordinance form.
Is it just, so is that with him or is that with?
I think some of it is we have some broader policy updates.
Yeah.
Potentially, so the expectation was to put it in with the broader policy updates.
Okay.
But if it's a circumstance that's holding up activities at the fire department, we probably expedite those.
It's not holding us up. I guess guys just want to make clear, because we do want to implement this where it's an annual requirement.
Yep.
And there's really no penalty except for additional training or additional workouts that you have to meet. We're trying to create a standardized time that guys have to achieve. And the biggest thing with this is like when we got guys go out on sick leave for an injury or whatever, if it's for an extended period of time that they've been off, to make sure that when they do come back, they can still do the job. It's the basic functions of a firefighter. So I guess it's not with Matt.
No, 'cause I think way back several months ago now, when the chief communicated that to us back then, I don't think there was any concerns from our perspective. I think we just felt rather than potentially getting proposed now and then lost when we did some broader updates to the policies, to do it all at once to make sure nothing got lost in the shuffle.
Okay.
But again, we'll review that to make sure we don't want to hold up this setting expectations from the department's perspective.
As we've been running that basically 2/3 of the shifts have run it. The guys have been doing phenomenal on it. Very happy to see that. We went 0 days the month of July so far with below minimum staffing, which we're kind of implemented with the scheduling, what's expected of the guys, making sure that we don't fall below that minimum staffing level. We did fall short on the medic side. We ran 6 hours one day without a medic. We had a call off and just trying to get somebody to come back in to fill that spot. It took a couple hours to get that done, so I just wanted to note that.
I think those are good communication points. I appreciate that information.
So on our budget, I got the reports from the clerk's office. I kind of on that. I just wanted to go through and see where we were sitting year to date. We're pretty close to exactly where we need to be, except for a couple of the funds, especially on number one, the medic payroll, just because medics have been working a lot of overtime. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot at this point. The only purchases, finally nailed out the iPads. They're going to be coming out this week to get those, kind of switching on that aspect. I'm not getting them with the Verizon services. We can just get generic iPads. We have the MiFi's already on the truck. It was kind of like we're paying for service twice. So those will be coming out. I met with our med bill company. I'm not going to dive too deep into this because it can get very difficult to understand. But what I did find out is they will come and speak to you guys directly through either the Board of Works or a council meeting, so we can all be informed, and then they can answer any questions. My biggest thing is I want to report on that is we have a 92% capture rate. So I will. I have it here for you. I got a year to date, and then on what our billing is. I know when you look at it, you kind of like you see the payments, charges, adjustments, then the bad debt. It kind of dives a lot deeper in that. But even though that it looks like we're not collecting a whole lot, just because we bill it, it's just like your hospital bills. Just because they bill it doesn't mean they have to pay it. There's a set rate that they pay. From the set rate that they have to pay, we're capturing 92% of that, which is, they said, pretty phenomenal. So. Ongoing projects, been trying to work with Maddox to get that training room cleaned out. I know they're still trying to find out where they're going to put all that stuff. So I would like to have that happen sooner rather than later, just so, like this past month, we've been having interviews. It's been in that room and it's not very good to look at. One thing to move forward on 2027 is, I know we're doing like the county-wide incentive to do training. It'd be nice to have something at the station so we don't have to travel all the way out, be outside of our jurisdiction all the time to do training. Is an on-site shipping container. The only location that I would see that we could house it is behind our garage. It's wide enough, it's long enough to fit a shipping container back there. Within that shipping container for our training is our SCBA confidence course. We can implement the forcible training, window props, bailout drills, hose advancement. We can utilize the shipping container for half of our training probably. One of my concerns was the neighbors. Do they really want to look at a shipping container? So I wrote them a letter, sent it to them, haven't heard back yet for them, just told them kind of what we were doing, sent them pictures of what it would look like. My biggest thing as far as like looking at it from the road is putting a fence up that would block it. So when we aren't training, it just looks like you're standing on a fence. So I put that in the budget. If I hear back from them, I'll let you guys know. The building received the quotes for the AC units, the mayor request. I gave those to him. Kind of ran into an issue last week that it needs to address now, I would say. I did hear back from Nick Stewart Heating and Cooling. A lot of it just has to deal with the humidity. It has been outside. Those ductworks are not insulated. He said that's your main thing. He's seeing that this issue is happening pretty commonly in even residential side. So he's going to come look at it, give me a price together, what it's going to take to get that so it stops leaking, and then we're going to have to start replacing some ceiling tile. Our community engagements this month, we did them the swimming deck at pool. It was a huge success. Props to the guys for doing that, putting it on. Like to thank Lisa Stokes for Century 21. She was a huge sponsor for that. She sponsored food for that for the people. We did hose down 2 days. We did it when it was 100 degrees outside for the kids. That went over well. Used the cemetery lot out there that was open. And we also did the Boys and Girls Club one day. We've done them for the past probably say 5-6 years. They always like it. We assisted the health department with moving on all their school supplies out to the 4-H grounds. National Night Out and Back to School Night was a huge success. Thank the health department, Family Resource Center, Alicia, and then Jenny from the mayor's office putting that on. It draws in a very large crowd. I think the kids loved it this year as far as being able to get their equipment, but also be able to see the trucks. We had Stat Flight helicopter come in and land so they could go see that. Kind of going back to our reporting, been talking with Tim Bradford, working with him. I think we're going to piggyback off him in his office and see how we can utilize their inspection software when they use it for their building site. There's a fire site in it. Just when I was able to, the little bit I was in it, when I was looking at codes for the tie-on building, I was able to pull it up and instantly went straight to my code, exactly what I needed, gave me everything I needed. It was perfect. So there's no more second guessing, going online, trying to find it, calling around, asking questions. I had it at the fingertips, so it was perfect. I'll be out of the office August 10th, 11th, and 12th, 24th, 25th, 26th. I'm attending a leadership training put on by Westwood Fire Department. It's a consulting firm coming in. I've heard great. I was actually referred to this by a person that lives here in town that he went through. He received a lot of good from it. So I went ahead and looked into it, signed up for it. Didn't realize it had so much homework with it. So I got my work cut out for me. I've also went ahead and looked into, I got to attend fire chief school. That will take place in February 27th. It's a week-long class down in Plainfield. So this kind of goes back to what we were discussing on the WPE. I just need some guidance on when I create policies and procedures, what do I need to bring before the Board of Works? What can I just implement right away? I know it all comes down to the wording of it. versus whether it's an SOG, whether it's a guideline, whether it's a standard policy. Because I know, like, if it's a policy that holds disciplinary action, it probably has to come before you guys, so it holds merit. I know there's some things I can probably go ahead and implement, it just doesn't have any merit to, if guys aren't following it. So I just needed some guidance on that.
All right, any questions for Chief?
No, I just want to thank you. The two events at the fort, they were huge successes, and having all the equipment and everything out there, the kids absolutely loved it. And they, I think, had a greater attendance than they've had because they said they gave away all their bags. This is the
First year.
first year they've ever given away
600 plus
all the bags. And I see all these, half your crew sitting here, so I want to thank them publicly for what they do and how they help protect us. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, I think to that end, this is our third year celebrating National Night Out. This is, and every year we challenge ourselves, what other activities are going on that we can piggyback off of to not just duplicate another event. This year was the first year where it just felt right. So we had the demographic that we want, which is the children, and a great event that's already now extended back to school. So I hope the invitation will continue to be open to join them. But I thought this year's worked out so well.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and your crew. Rena. With that, police department, Chief Maddox is actually on a pre-scheduled vacation, so he's not here this morning joining us. I'd just say to this end, this will be the first time, and actually just a notice to Chief Alton too, because I don't think we've had this conversation. Moving forward, if absence is expected or known, to send a delegate on their behalf to come and present to the Board of Works, just so we can have someone here to facilitate questions if they come up or to share information. So with that, unless there's anything else, set the motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Couple of things. Thank you, Phil.